everybody, and welcome back to All the Mod 7 to the Sky. In this episode, we set up Mystical Agriculture Farming. As you can see, we got all of our plots set up and ready to go, and we also find out what's the fastest way to grow all the Modium, Vibranium, and Unobtainium seeds, either between a Garden Cloak or a Pythogenic Insulator. So, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so today we're going to be working on Mystical Agriculture. I want to get ourselves set up a load of farms now today that are going to start generating me up resources that we are currently not generating through our sieving system. Mainly that be alloys, because of like different alloys we need, like brass, bronze, invar, enderium, and there's probably another few that we need. I'd like to have those growing over here so they are generating so I don't have to have an automated system for them. As well as that, I'd like to also get myself a load of different other seeds, mainly like nether seeds, obsidian seeds, end seeds, maybe some diamond and emerald seeds. You just never have enough of those. Nether star seeds, dragon seeds, unobtainium, vibranium, and allthemodium. Now, the thing about the unobtainium, allthemodium, vibranium is, well, I was mentioning the fact that I was thinking of setting up an entire plot for them. That would take forever. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to attempt to see which is the best way to grow the seed. Either that be in a garden cloak or a pythogenic insulator. So yeah, that's what I want to try. Now, it still requires the magical soil if you were to use a pythogenic insulator or a garden cloak. So I still have to make this, which I should probably bookmark. I think I have 1 or 2 overgrowth seeds. I have 5. Okay, so we have enough just to test at least each one of the seeds. So yeah, and if you're wondering why I'm not wearing my shaders, remember like last episode when I was showing off those little particles I think were for Halloween? It turns out they're actually a little ghost that appears in that little particle effect. It's just because that shader's on, you couldn't see it. And yeah, it's from the mod Coral Tombstone. Now, it is November 1st, so I did see them. Just haven't seen them in the last couple of minutes now, so hope I'm not too late, because I just want to show it off, and then we can turn back on the shaders. We might be unlucky, but we'll just keep our eyes out just in case any do decide to appear and try and jump scare me. So before we start, I want to get a few things up and running, just so we have them prepared, because it's going to take a little bit of time. If I want to make the garden cloak, I'm going to need treated wood, and treated wood is made by using a blast furnace, or coke oven, not a blast furnace. I need a coke oven to start generating me up coke coal, and the byproduct of making coke coal is creosote oil, and we need that creosote oil to make the treated wood. So I want to get a blast furnace or a coke oven up and running just to start generating it, and by the time we are ready to go and work on the garden cloak, we should have at least 1 bucket of creosote oil ready to go. So, coke brick, that's going to require sandstone, brick, and clay. Hopefully we have enough. I just need 27, however, a little bit short on the brick. How much clay do we have? Not much. Let me just uncompress all the blocks here and maybe smelt half of what we got here. Yeah, that should be more than enough. 27. All we need now is a hammer and the engineer's hammer, and I'm thinking of setting this up down here. Since last episode, I've also removed all of the chests that are down here and stored everything over in our drives now. And I've hooked up all the extra storages. For some reason, hello. Yep, there you can see the ghost is actually in it. There is some invisible cables here. That is very, very strange. Because I did connect up, as you can see, there is a P2P tunnel here, which is connecting over to this guy over here. And I thought it was an ME interface is what you needed. No, it's called an ME storage bus. And that reads the items inside the storage controller. And I've also set the priority to 10, just so it'll input and output out of that thing first before it tries to store it in the drives. And I've also moved the security terminal at the back here. So we're using 4 channels here. And that's actually weird. Why are some of the things missing? Do I need to reload my textures or something? Probably do, but if I do that right now, it's going to take forever to load, so I'm just going to ignore it. How are we doing on the circuits over here? Because I am preparing a lot more to continue making drives. We do have quite a bit, which is nice. The only downside I have to using Applied Energistics over Integrated Dynamics now is I can't actually store my crafting terminal in my curio slots. So I've replaced my old crafting terminal back with my talisman. So it'll just keep my diamond tools here repaired. Eventually we'll probably upgrade these to unobtainium. But for now, it's just repairing that. Since we actually saw the goals, let's turn back on our shaders now. Okay, is this right? I remember it being grayed out like that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, some things have been feeling a bit weird. I've just recently reset Windows on my PC because of weird issues with my operating system, but still feels like there's issues. I don't know what it is, but there still seems to be some things wrong. But anyway, roll these away as well. I was making a bunch more flux crystals. Right, enough talking. Let's actually get this coke oven up and running because we're running out of time if we want to get this all done in one episode, because this is going to take a long time to produce at least 1 bucket of creosote oil. And I think actually we're going to be doing blocks of coal, which is going to take even longer, 8 times longer, or is it 9 times longer? It'll be 8 times longer because you're just adding an extra 8 on top of the 1 that would already take. I think I already have a few stacks of coal. Yeah, I have at least 1. So if we stick the coal in here, that's going to take a long time. Now this should produce us 9 buckets or at least 8 buckets of creosote oil. So we'll just have to leave that run for a while. And while that's running, let's get to work on making ourselves our first few seeds. Now, over here, as you can see, I've already put down all the planters and harvesters and whatever. And I've already maxed out their upgrades. Now, the thing is, this plot right here, usually what I like to do is max this thing out, or at least cover the farmland in the highest tier essence. And once you cover it in the highest tier essence, every once in a while, you might be lucky and get a duplicate of the seed. So say we had a diamond seed planted in here on the premium farmland, there's probably like I don't know what kind of % chance, but over time it will produce an extra seed, which then you can use to replant and fill a plot, which is what I want to do. So if we just get 1 of every seed planted in here, leave it run for a while, get it stored in like a drawer system right here, and then just hook up the connection here, we should be able to like have everything infinitely duped right here, and then we can fill out all the farmlands or the other plots with whatever seed we want. Right, so if we want to upgrade this thing here to the premium farmland, what we need to do is actually make ourselves the actual crystals and upgrade this essence here all the way up to the premium. Now, there's 2 ways we can do it in block form, but I believe that only can be done with the master infusion crystal. As you can see, blocks to there. If you wanted to do it the other way, you have to use the master stone. You can't use any other way. The master is pretty cheap to get. Like once you've made yourself a few of these infusion crystals, we'll just make a few of them now and just throw them in the system. And if we just combine them now with the essence, now the reason why we have 15k block and 140,000 essence is because this is actually the same amount. It's just that it's being stored in a compact drawer over there, and it's reading both of the inventories when it should only technically be reading 1. But that's whatever. So if we just make ourselves a bunch of Prudentium right here, which is going to use up a lot of these crystals. Oh, they actually just replace each other in the system. Okay, that's actually really handy. I was kind of worried about I'll have to do it manually 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 every time. But if we just make a bunch of crystals like that, and then do it this way, and just take them all out, and it just uses them all up. Okay, that's perfect. Now we'll probably use up that much there, and then we'll replace it with the Prudentium now. And then upgrade it all the way up to Tertium. Tertium. Well, it actually used up. Got rid of it very quickly. Now we'll just upgrade to Imperium. And then the same thing again, we'll just upgrade the Imperium now all the way up to Supremium. Perfect. Now I think I need a little bit more than 64, but what we can do now is actually upgrade this guy here to the Master Stone. So we need ourselves some Prosperity Gems, so we'll just make a stack of those. And then we just need to make ourselves the Premium Gem, and then the Master Stone. Done. There we go. Now what we can do is actually use the blocks instead and upgrade it all the way. So we can make actually like 9 times the amount. I think see like how much we just burned through. We had 140,000, now there's only 56,000. So we'll probably stop at that and then upgrade the next bit, because we're also going to need the top tier stuff, which is called Insanium. And Insanium is how we're going to make our seeds. And hello. What do you got for me? Ooh, that's not a bad pickaxe. Great that you take the enchantments off of it. Give me out a new diamond pickaxe here, and I'll just grab a stack of emeralds for yourself. And where'd he go? There he is. Give me that, please. Thank you. Now get out of here. Cool. Eventually, when we get ourselves the enchantment extractor and applicator, we'll be able to take the enchantments off that and add them to our tools, because we already have Fortune 3 on this thing. That tool had Fortune 4. I think I already have one of those. We might be able to get ourselves Fortune like 5 or something like that, which would be really, really nice. Especially when we're going mining and gathering ourselves like Allthemodium, Vibranium, and Unobtainium, because they do affect or are affected by looting, I think. Hope they are. Yeah, they are. Right, so Supremium. Let's go back to that Mystical. And if we just continue upgrading this guy here all the way up to Supremium, then we'll be able to increase our farmland. Do the same thing again here into Imperium, and then Imperium to Supremium. There we go. And we're going to upgrade a few of these guys now. So we need a total of 12 of this. I don't think I have enough for 12. We're going to need 12 to make all of our different Unobtainium, Vibranium, and Allthemodium seeds. I already have the 4 blocks of the stuff stored in my bag here, so we're ready to go on that. I just need a lot more Supremium, meaning I'm going to need to produce a lot more of this Imperium Essence. Or Inferium Essence. And there goes all the blocks. Alright, 24 more Supremium. And we're just going to finish making our 12 blocks here. There we go. And then what we can do is actually uncompress this now back into its regular form. There we go. And if we just take out a little bit extra, now we can turn this entire plot here into Supremium farmland. Now, as you can see, it doesn't really change color. I don't know if what's this one called again? Insanium works. I know Supremium works, and I don't think it's worth changing the entire plot here into Insanium, which is kind of a very hard resource to get because you need a lot, and I mean like a lot of Supremium Essence. So the entire plot here has been covered in Supremium Essence, meaning now any type of seed we put down in here should have a chance of duplicating its seed. And I think it's the only way of doing that. I don't think it works in this kind of plot. And I don't know if there's increased output. I don't think there is. I think it's just a chance to get an extra seed. And the higher tier this farmland, the higher chance there is to get a seed. Oh, that tree's kind of covering, makes it feel dark over here. Right, so as you can see, we don't actually have any seeds. So what we need to do is actually make some. Now to make some, we're going to need what's called an infusion altar. Now the infusion altar is made with dark matter. Now, we do need red carpet, meaning we're going to need some red dye. And we do have mystical petals, which I think we can turn into it here. Not used up all of it. It's not that hard to get. We can easily get more, so it's fine. So if we just grab ourselves out a couple pieces of red wool. Let's just grab out like 10 pieces here, because I do need to make a carpet as well. So 3 red carpet. And we have plenty of wool now. So we can make ourselves our 8 infusion pedestals. 8, there we go. And now we need dark matter, which is going to require Allthemodium and Alternus fuel. Alternus fuel is made with a Philosopher's Stone and Mobius fuel. Mobius fuel is made with alchemical coal and Philosopher's Stone. And the chemical coal is made mixing a Philosopher's Stone and coal. Philosopher's Stone is really cheap, which is nice. And then we'll just combine that then with the coal to make ourselves our alchemical fuel. So we'll just do this and just fill our entire inventory up. I'd say 1 more inventory full should be enough for now. There we go. So we can clear out the coal and fill this in. Roll that in there. And I use up all that. And then dump it all in and repeat. And there we go. We have our Alternus fuel. Then you just combine that with Allthemodium, which I believe we still have quite a bit of Allthemodium. We have 61. Okay, so we can afford to use up 2 dark matter. Perfect. Now we can make ourselves our infusion altar. Perfect. And I'm just going to put this here for now. Yeah, it should be fine there. We'll eventually have a proper place to put this thing, because this is only temporary, because I am going to have my bees set up running across all the back wall right here all the way along, and these animals will have to move. So we'll probably end up setting that up maybe in here somewhere, or maybe just add it on to the end of the path, or just stick it right in the middle of the place or something. I don't know. We'll see. Right, so let's start by making our first couple of seeds. So let's start off by making the nether seeds. That's going to require nether agglomeratio, which is soul sand, netherrack, nether brick, and nether wart. And we need 4 of this. I had a feeling we wouldn't have enough nether brick, but it seems we do have some extra regular brick left over to make more brick. There we go. We have our 4 agglomeratio. We need prudentium. So if we look up essence now, and we just need to uncompress a bunch of this stuff here into prudentium. Perfect. And we might actually uncompress a lot more of the stuff here. Press about that much of that, and then uncompress about that much of that. There we go. We should have quite a bit of a variety to work with. Right, so we just need 4 of that there. And we just need a seed. Do we have the seeds? No. So the seed we need to make is, if we look in here, is this prosperity seed. So we just make a stack of those and yeah, hold on to them. So put them in there and we just fill the pedestals then with our ingredients. There we go. And now what we have to do is activate a redstone signal. So we grab a button, which we could use any kind of redstone system. We could have like an elaborate thing. We could just put a redstone clock underneath it and it'll work. But if we do that now and push the button and activate it, it will now craft us our seed. Perfect. Now we got ourselves another seed. So if we plant that right here, this thing will have a long time before it actually grows. As you can see, it's a secondary chance, which is 10%. I didn't actually notice that before. That must be new. So it's a 10% chance to get an extra seed since it's planted on Supremium farmland. And I think if we plant it on regular dirt, does it have the same thing? No, it doesn't. So it only works when it's planted on a farmland that has essence imbued in it. So cool, it has a 10% chance. Right, so all we have to do now is make the rest of the seeds. Obsidian seeds, Axis, obsidian, and terrentium. So if we look up back up essence, I probably should hold at least one of the essence types on me. So we are going to be using obsidian. As much as we probably don't need to do that, it's easy enough. All I have to do is just stick a pipe on a barrel over there and we'll be able to make obsidian. But having a little bit of excess obsidian is not bad. I think it's the terrentium essence and then the seed, and that's the obsidian. Next up then is end, so that's end agglomeratio. I need chorus fruit, so I guess I have to go to the end now and grab some of that. Alright, I got plenty of chorus fruit now. And one of it's actually there. I killed like a boss guy and he dropped like a lollipop. And these magic lollipops I think you can only obtain around Halloween. And if you eat them, they actually give you a really cool effect. But it could be also random. Slow falling, so I just fall really slow, which is nice in case I fall off the island. And that lasts for 10 minutes. Eat another one, supercharging. I don't actually know what that does. It looks like it has a battery effect. So does that mean like things have a lot more power, or do they just charge wirelessly in the terminal here? They do. Okay, that's kind of cool. Because I do have wireless charging, but it doesn't work in the inventory. So supercharging, that's actually really cool. It means I can charge tools without having to be having wireless charging, which is nice. And then this thing, soft fall. Is that similar to like feather falling, where I don't take as much damage when I land? Because yeah, I guess it is the same, because I don't have feather falling on my boots, so anytime I'd easily just trample a crop, but it seems to be working. So that's kind of cool. You get those just by killing mobs. And also, since it is Halloween, I don't know if it still might be active, but if we go to the other now, we're getting a little bit sidetracked here, but I just want to show this quickly. Any kind of undead mobs, as well as creepers and stuff, they are wearing like little hats and stuff. So like husks, zombies, and skeletons, they're wearing like pumpkin heads, and creepers are wearing witch hats. Now, it is a rare chance to see them, but hopefully we'll be able to spot one. Hopefully we're not too late. It might have only been for October 31st. Okay, it was only October 31st. Yeah, okay, they're not wearing it anymore. But yeah, they used to have witch hats on and pumpkin heads, which was funny. All right, so getting back to what we're doing, we're making ourselves the our end agglomeratio. So we should be able to make that easy enough. Oh, we're out of purple blocks, which is made by cooking coarse fruit, of course. Coarse fruits. Is that how you spell coarse fruit? Okay, let me look up fruit. We have like 32 of those, and we'll just go smelt them. There we go, popped coarse fruit, and then we can turn that here into purple. Like so, and then finish making our end agglomeratio. There we go, got the 4 of those. Made the obsidian seeds, so I can put that away. I think the actual obsidian seeds are still in the thing, or did we plant those? Oh no, we planted those, okay. So the end agglomeratio is Imperium, so we'll just grab out the 2 sets of this now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. Combine it with the seed, and there we go. Next up then is diamond. So that's the premium and diamond. Emerald is the same, so we just need to grab out 4 emeralds, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then swap out the Imperium to the premium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then swap out the seed, go, and then same thing again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 4 diamonds, swap out the seed, off it goes. Now we can put down our end one right here, and our emerald one there, and then we have our diamond one, which we can put down right here. Perfect. Next up then, Nether Star. Now, Nether Star is Insanium Essence, so I'm going to have to make a little bit more of that. So 1, 2, I guess I don't actually have enough. 3, I need a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there we go. Same thing is probably going to happen with the dragon egg seeds. Yeah. Let's just grab out some nether stars here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll make a bit more Thanium now in a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the thing about this seed, it has to be grown above a crux. So we need a nether star crux. So we're going to have to craft some of these, which is going to be fun. And so we'll hold off on planting those for just a moment. And does this work in a Pisogenic Insulator? It does. So maybe might be worth to grow this one in a Pisogenic Insulator or Garden Cloak as well. Yeah, we're going to have to see what's the best way. How are we doing on our Creosote Oil? Are we nearly got a bucket yet? Oh, nice. Okay, it's done one. So we're ready to go on that whenever we're done here. So let's just finish making these type of seeds. And we'll skip over the dragon eggs. Actually, no, we're on to the last ones now. Okay, let's make ourselves the Unobtainium Vibranium ones now. Here we go. So that plus the Insanium. Is this right? Yeah, it is right, because it's the other set I need. I'm thinking of, like, where did the Gaia Spirit ingots go? No, that's for making the magical soil. As you can see, what did I find the membrane bookmarked? Yeah, that's being done in here. So it means I need to make even more Insanium Essence. Wow, that's a lot. Next up then, we'll do Allnumadium and feed, go. And Insanium then. I'm ready to do Vibranium then. That out, there we go. And then we have our pretty much our 3 seeds once this one's done. And there we go. Perfect. So are we actually able to go any higher? Have we used up all of our essence? I think we have, more or less. We still have 100 blocks to go through. We could actually try and see how high we can go now. Yeah, we can't go any higher than now. We only have 3 blocks. Okay, so I guess what we need to do is actually like plant a ton of Inferium seeds. So I guess we're just going to have to uncompress all of this now. Let's go all the way back so we have as much as we can. There we go. That should be enough to get ourselves at least a stack. So if we look up seed here and find ourselves in Inferium seeds. I know, why does it say tier 1? Oh, that's just the tier of seed. Okay, never mind. So if we craft ourselves, I think I need a stack in 16 to be the whole lot. But let's just get this planted here. Now, before we plant these, there is actually a different type of like fertilizer apart from that one here. Like we got the Supremium one. There is like this red fertilizer which you can make, which speeds up crop growth. Now, do we want that or do we want the other one? Because if we look up fertilizer here, we do also have, where is it? Yeah, this green one here. It increases the crop output. So I have like 3 of them already. So if I was to plant them, you know what? I think we will just go with like red here because it just makes more sense. Growing it as fast as we can. Okay, fly. There we go. We just need to cover this entire farmland here in this red fertilizer. Making sure not to miss any spots. I know we need a little bit more than a stack in 11. I think we need an entire stack in 16 to cover the entire plot here. Yeah, we need 4 more. If I didn't miss any. I don't see any that I missed. But what we can do is actually get these started planting. And you'll see how fast these grow now in a second once they start pulsing. As you can see, look, there's one growing right now. Oh, we're in a spot there. So we'll just leave the spot empty that I missed with the fertilizer. Yeah, so we need a bit more seed and fertilizer. Oh, I didn't know I could spam crouch or like twerk to get this stuff growing. Oh, that's going to make it so much easier. We could sit here and do this. Oh, sticky keys. Alright, they should turn it off now. And then we can just continue doing this. Okay, I didn't realize I could just hold shift and grow these things this fast. Okay, that makes it so much easier to do this. Okay, does that work with these ones over here then? It does. So we should get like duplicate seeds now as well. And it also looks like we're getting some fertilizers, which is nice. 10% chance drop. Cool, we haven't got any seeds yet, but it's kind of nice now. So we're actually like generating all that up. That's cool. So I wonder, does that work with these guys? How fast will that go? Of course, I can't sit there and just crouch forever, but kind of might be a nice way of generating up quite a bit if we need it fast. Anyway, so what we want to do now is make more red fertilizer. Now, red fertilizer, maybe we should make some dye essence, actually. Some dye seeds might be a good idea. Pink, we'll just make a bit of pink and we'll make ourselves some dye seeds because chances are we're probably going to need these now as well. These are made by mixing Prudentium essence. Okay. Put the seed in, off it goes. And if we can get ourselves a bunch of dye seeds, it might be easier to craft ourselves all the red dye that we need. or any dye for that matter. Right, we need to get these guys actually hooked up and powered and start storing it in drawers. I'm thinking of just setting up a few drawers like right there just to store everything, and then eventually we can auto-craft it all over there using our ME system. Right, so we just need to finish planting this plot right here, and while that generates up a ton of Inferium Essence, we'll be able to keep working. And we just need a bit more red dye. I just want to finish this plot out first. Might as well use up the rest of those. We only need a tiny bit more red fertilizer. So 8 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 1 more here. There we go. And if we look up Inferium Seed, we just need to make ourselves, like, I don't know, another 9 or something. Is that all the plots filled? I think so. Right, there we go. Now we just need these grow on our own. Now there is one extra thing we can make to make this go even faster, and that's a lily pad of fertility. We just make ourselves some fertile essence, make a lily pad of fertility, make 2 of them. We can put 1 on top of the water here. There we go. And that works, I think, in a 7x7 area, which should allow this thing to grow really fast. As you can see there, it just pulsed the entire area. Unless that was me shifting when I was going past. Nope, that wasn't me. So you can see it pulses the entire area to grow. Yeah. And since this plot is 7x7, it should cover the entire area, which is really, really nice. I think it even works vertically as well. So it should actually work on the top plots here as well, which is nice. Right, so while we're waiting for those to finish growing, let's actually go get ourselves our magical soil and test out what's the best way to grow these seeds. So this guy's completely full, so we're just going to grab a bucket here, and we're just going to, actually maybe a tank or jerry can, I think is another thing. Yeah, if we make ourselves a quick jerry can, we should be able to fill this entire thing up, and then using the jerry can around some wood, if we just look up planks here, any type of wood should work. Treated wood, which make a bunch of that. There we go. And now we can make ourselves our garden cloak. We just need an iridescent bulb, which requires an engineer's workbench, which is going to require all of this now. So this is going to be a bit of a process to craft. So grab a few sticks. Then we just need to grab ourselves a workbench, which requires some slabs. Workbench, done. And then we just need some fence, done. And now we can craft a workbench. Perfect. And we'll just stick the workbench, I don't know, like right here for now. Right, so do we need a blueprint for that? We need this blueprint here, which is easy enough. And that's just going to require now a 3 paper, any type of glass, and a copper. Okay, there we go. So we stick all of these in here. Iridescent bulbs. Oh, it actually makes 3 for us. Perfect. And then we should be able to make our garden cloak. Oh, we need iron mechanical components. Make 3 of those as well, so we can make 3 garden cloaks. Perfect. Now, the thing about the garden cloak, I believe it needs water, power, and I think you can make it go faster if you provide it with bone meal. And we'll test it out over here just for now. So we'll just like set it up like this. And they actually look really nice. Yeah, so you fill it with power, you fill it with water, and I think you give it bone meal as a fertilizer. I don't know if you can give it anything else other than bone meal. We'll have to see. We can input water in the back here. So if I just grab an ender tank that has a blue block on it and just dye it blue so we have water. I think this is water. I think I've set up an ender tank with water in it already. Yes, I have. Perfect. We'll just grab a pipe here. Wrench, ultimate pipe upgrade. I don't have any more fluid pipes. We'll have to make some. I'm going to connect this up across the back, right, like so. Extract. And these guys here should be filled with water. Okay, they are filling. I just need to give it the upgrade. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now what we need to do is give it power. So if we look up cable, ultimate power cable, I need to make a little bit more than that. There we go. That'll do. And I'll just run this across the front for the time. Oh, no, it doesn't connect across the front. Oh, it only connects on the sides. You know what? We might be able to run it actually underneath. Does it connect underneath? No, but it does connect here. So we can just run it up like this. Actually, I don't need a point right there. Actually, I can stick the point there. Point. And we'll take the point in there. This is only for temporary. We're just testing this out. And we can cover that up. There we go. So they're all getting power now, which is good. And all we have to do now is actually put fertilizer, which I think is bone meal. So we look at bone meal. We can stick bone meal, I think, in here. How does the fertilizer go in? I don't actually know where that went, but it went up even though... Okay, I have no clue what way that went in. Let's make ourselves our first magical soil. And that's going to require more Insanium blocks. So I'm going to have to see how much essence we have. If not, I'm going to have to twerk over there for a while until we have enough 200 blocks. Yeah, that might not be enough. We'll see how far we can get. Yeah, we only can make 3. So I guess I'll be sitting here for a while growing all this. As you can see, like, it's already fully grown. I just need to sit here and harvest it for a while. So I'll be back once I have enough of the Inferium Essence, at least make the 3 magical soil. So BRB. Okay, I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to do this, and I'm only managed to get 1 Insanium block. It's taking way too long. What I want to do now is actually, before we kind of running out of time now, is I want to actually get these harvesters actually hooked up and the planter up and running. So what we're going to do is get these guys here up and running and start replanting and harvesting all of this now. Because I think once this thing harvests, it's not going to gentle harvest. It's going to tear the seed out of the plot. So what I want to do is reroute the seeds back down into the planter that you can see down there and see if we can get this thing automated quickly. So how are we going to do that? Now, the ideal way to do it probably would be through XNet. But I think if we just route it like a special kind of way, we might be able to get away with it just working through easy pipes. So if we go to add pipe, we should be able to use item pipes, and that's more or less it. So just item pipes and then some cable here, and we'll grab a point, and then we'll reroute all the power to everything later on. Because I should be able to run a cable underneath it this way. Because I'm thinking of right here, we'll have the item pipe come down, because what we're going to have is a drawer on top here, and it's going to be a double drawer, I think. Because I don't think we're going to get... Oh, it says we have the ingredients, but we don't. Okay. Okay, let me just grab out some logs here and just uncompress them. We have plenty of wood to use, so we're good. Go back to drawer here, and we'll just make a oak double drawer here now. No, this one. There we go. So if we stick this drawer on top, so what's going to happen is the seed is going to go in here. So we're going to actually have this guy here as a filter output. You're going to come down like that, but disconnect here. Okay. And you're going to auto eject into the top. Actually, maybe we only have to do it one way. Do we? Maybe we can get away with just actually sticking a universal pipe, or a universal pipe. Hang on, let me see if this works. If we can get a universal pipe to do this, it might actually be a bit easier. So if we come down here and break this and just make sure my flight is activated and come across over here to the planter now. This guy here is only going to be inputting in the seed anyway. So if I just come this way and come up here now and leave that connected like that, or I can connect it with power a different way, maybe underneath or something, through a power cable. I think if I just have this guy here set to extract, it should just work. I think. Let's see. If we extract there and actually disconnect it there, but what we do is actually underneath this block here, we add the point. That way it actually isn't connecting to the actual plant gatherer, but the plant gatherer can still get power. So this guy, as you can see now, is harvesting up all of the seeds. And what we want to do now is have a pipe upgrade. Universal pipe upgrade should do. And we're going to stick this in here. And we're going to take out these ingredients. Of course, it's making sludge now, so we'll have to dump that by putting, like, I don't know, maybe an extraction thing here with just fluids, maybe? Or to stick the trash can there or something. We'll see. Or maybe we'll have to move the drawer and put it in the front here so it actually extracts out the back. And so that way this cable's completely hidden, and we'll stick the... Yeah, you know what? That actually sounds a bit better. If we actually stick this guy here, and then we can stick the trash can... Just grab out a fluid trash can, stick that on top here, and we just need to find out what direction. So we want this guy to push the sludge out the top, okay? If we grab out the essence in the drawer here, we're going to put the seeds here and put the essence here, and we're going to lock it now. So we just need a, what's it called? If we go to our functional storage, it's the configuration tool. That will lock the drawer. We come under here now. We can tell this guy here to extract... Well, he should only extract out the seeds, because I don't think the planter can actually handle the other thing. We're just going to add a filter just in case. So that's going to extract out the seeds. And then what that's going to do is in here, it's going to plant them all. But this guy doesn't have power yet, because I haven't told the pipe here to extract from the point. So if I just disconnect this here and then just tell it to extract there, as you can see, the seeds are starting to plant now, which is great. So over time, I'm probably going to have to make a lot more seeds to fill the entire planter here, but is it actually working the way I want it to? Oh, it's just not getting enough power. I'm going to have to stick another pipe upgrade on it. Is it getting enough power now? Oh yeah, it is. Perfect. And we're just going to lock the inputs to only have that. And the show working area is good. And yeah, it should be perfect. As you can see, the entire area now is covered in seeds. Perfect. So that actually kind of cleans it up a lot more, because then I can replace the wall like that and boom, perfect. Now, the only thing is I don't think we'll be able to add a functional drawer to reach everything unless I was to split the drawers across each plot. So say I put a drawer on top of or underneath it somehow there and connect these three and then run a cable over to read the inventory of that. And then connect another one just underneath there and run a thing over and connect the inventory of these 6 here. So it would be split in half. You know what? That probably would work a lot better. And there we go. This thing here is generating us up all the essence, except I'm not pumping it out the back. What direction is the front? North. Okay, so we'll just say output, push out north. Is that actually pushing out? No. The back is south, which is that direction. It should be pushing out into the drawer, unless it can't push out into the drawer. Oh, you know why? Because it can't push out because there's already more than a stack in there. I forgot that's an issue with this thing. Okay, well, we can actually fix that again using the universal pipe. So if we just do that, stick the universal pipe on top, and then just tell it to extract. It'll extract out the items, and the fluid will go up into the actual thing. You can see the items are being pulled out. They're getting stored in here, and the fluid is just going into the fluid trash can, because you can't put an item in here. Like if I wanted to put this in there, you can't put it in there. So yeah, that's the way I'm going to have to set this up. And I'm going to have to do that for all the other 11 of these guys. Yeah, that's going to be fun. But anyway, for now, I'm just going to let this run for a bit and see if we can generate ourselves up enough essence to make at least another 3 blocks of Insanium essence, because even if we can just get 1 and test it, we'll have a good idea on where we are. So I'll be back once I have the other 3 Insanium blocks. Okay, I finally have the Insanium blocks now. And I've also gone ahead and made myself a few extra things. So like these items here, which we'll put inside of a Pysogenic Insulator to test it out. Because the Pysogenic Insulator can be upgraded to have faster speeds and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Because this guy here will produce 2. And the Pysogenic Insulator will make 1. But if it's faster, it might be able to keep up and maybe surpass the Garden Cloak. But we won't know until we try it out. So while I was waiting, this guy here, as you can see, I've hooked up everything and everything is running perfectly. And I've also hooked up everything with storage controllers, like I said. So these 6 here are connected to that storage controller. And then I have another storage controller underneath the middle block here connected to these 6. And I was going to put an item interface on it, but I decided to actually extract out just the essence. Since we're not producing any essence in these ones at the moment, I haven't actually put a filter on this guy yet. But what I'm going to do is only extract out the essence and leave the seeds inside the drawer. Because there's no point extracting those into the system when the system here needs it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. And this guy right here is just storing all the essence. I've been just emptying this thing periodically. So that's why there's not much in there. While I was waiting to see how much Inferium essence, because it's actually nearly like another hour maybe or 2 hours since I went to go and finish setting up this and make more Insanium. I was reading a book because I was wondering, why isn't this guy here producing any seeds? Because it is a 20% chance. Wait, you have a 20% chance and you... Yeah, it said that there's a higher percent chance for it to get a seed if it's grown on a farmland related to its tier. Since the Emerald and Diamond are tier 5, they have a 20% chance to grow on Supremium farmland. But the rest doesn't. But it still says, like, the higher tier, it should still give it. Because I was reading the book in here, because I decided to make the book to read it. And it says, crops will usually have a 10% chance to drop a second seed when planted on any tier for Essence farmland. But then it says, crops will have an additional 10% when planted on the corresponding tier Essence farmland. And then I read this. Inferium seeds will drop more Essence when planted on higher tier Essence farmland. I had it planted on red fertilizer. Then I upgraded it to, I think, regular. Like if I just grab out a seed here quickly and put it here, you can see the Inferium output at the top there says 100%, right? Well, if you plant it on Supremium farmland, it has a 300% in output. Yeah, this is a lot. So the whole time, I could have gotten like a lot more and saved myself 2 hours of waiting, generating up all this essence. Because if I just sit here and just spam right shift and hold right click with Vein Miner, it gives me 3 essence per thing. And since there's over a stack of them here, I can nearly get an entire inventory full in like just a couple of seconds. Like that's just how fast it is. Like look, boom, I already have like so much. So I could have done that ages ago. And I did test out a Supreme Insanium one, and it has a 350% chance. So I don't know if that will give me 4 essence or a chance just to give me a 4th essence. I don't know. But even at that, that's more than enough. And if we leave it run for hours at a time, it should generate us up a ton of essence. As you can see, there's already a bunch of it in here. But anyway, enough of that. Let's actually get to work and actually do this, because we are starting to run out of time, if not already. So it just might be a bit longer than I was hoping. But if we look up Gaia here, oops, Gaia, Spirit Ingots, we just need more. Oh, I don't have any Terra Steel. Okay, let me just quickly make some Terra Steel. All right, there we go. So I have 4 Terra Steel now. Upgrade those into the Gaia Spirit Ingots. There we go, 4 of them. Now we just need the Overgrowth Seeds. So just grab one of those. And now we should be able to make ourselves our farmland. So that plus this. So combine all this in here. Overgrowth Seed, go. And while that's crafting, let's get ourselves a Pysogenic Insulator. So that's a tin gear. Just make a stack of those, or as many as I can. Machine frame, done. Pysogenic Insulator. And that's also going to require water and power. So we're just going to stick this just here for now. We'll just run a cable and a pipe. So we'll just run a pipe across back here so it gets water. And we'll just connect the power underneath here since there's already a point right there. So we need to tell this thing to input through the bottom. Oh no, it's input through the back, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So here we go. We got our farmland. We're going to try and put these in about the same time. I'm going to take out all the upgrades here. So you're going to get a resonant kit, the cyclic processing one, because then that's what that's going to do is recycle the seed. So the seed won't be ejected out. And we're going to get ourselves some Pyso Grow as well. Stick that in here because we're going to max this guy out, because what's the point of having it not maxed out? And then we're going to give it 2 extra speed upgrades. Okay, so you're going to get the farmland, and I'm going to give you all the Modio. I'm going to give you on Vibranium. This thing hasn't even pulsed once yet, and this thing's already made ourselves an essence. It is using the fertilizer, but I don't think it's working that well. This thing is already made too. Okay, the winner's Pysogenic Insulator. I had a feeling it would be, because this guy is taking absolutely forever. Even if we were trying to speed it up, yeah, look how slow this thing is. And this thing's already made 5, and I think I might be able to speed this guy. Look at 14 of it. Yeah, Pysogenic Insulator is the winner. Now, we don't have enough time now to actually set up a huge system of them, but what I'm planning on doing is probably either setting up a compact machine, or we'll just turn one of the plots here into something else, or we'll just have like a little row of them just growing somewhere. I don't know where we'll put them yet, but the fact that we now know the Pysogenic Insulator is the winner, we'll be able to set up a huge factory of those. And after a while, once we produce a lot more, we might be able to set up multiple Pysogenic Insulators doing the same seed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So apart from these seeds right here who were not producing their extra seeds, I have a feeling I'm just going to have to manually craft all of them. And I was just editing the video as well while I was waiting for this to grow. And I mentioned at the start I wanted to set up the seeds for all the different type of alloys and stuff like Invar, Bronze, Brass and all that. Turns out there's no seeds for those. So we're still going to have to go ahead and manually set up a automated system generating ourselves up every single type of alloy through, like, I don't know, what's it called? What's that machine called? It's a induction smelter. We'll have to set up an induction smelter producing each type of alloy. So yeah. But yeah, now that we have a farm set up, we should be able to produce a lot more resources, and having infinite Allumadium and Unobtainium Vibranium is amazing. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell while you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.